Welcome back to Dialog Choices Podcasts. You've done this to yourself.
Nailed it.
Anyway, I didn't have any ideas, so we're just going to do the Xbox showcase this time.
The better version of the non-EA.
Listen, we started doing this 2 hours earlier. I literally roll out of bed and then arrive at the podcast sometimes now. It doesn't lead to a lot of planning.
Okay.
So here we are. Ta-da.
Call of Duty.
Straight into it.
All right.
Is that 24? Are we watching the 24 trailer?
What do you mean straight into it? I introduced it.
The Soviet Union is no more.
I said what we were doing.
For instability and chaos.
We are.
These events clearly serve our national interest.
Bush.
Ew. That footage looked motion smooth.
Oh no, Bush. Put the Bush.
Why did that live action footage look like it was 60 frames per second?
Probably because it was.
Oh,
wait, why?
Copyright. We got a copyright song right out the gate. We got Firestarter.
Yeah.
Oh, it's called, yeah.
Yeah, this is a song you use when you're supposedly having commentary on war in any way.
Long enough, I see the devil.
Oh, then they picked the wrong song. This is a Call of Duty game.
They picked the wrong franchise, to be fair.
Yeah.
The agency is compromised. We're being hunted.
Wait, civilians?
No.
Did you see that scene with
You're not
the
killing
dancers
civilians.
and all that? What is this?
You're killing Saddam Hussein. Come on, man. Get it together.
Call of Duty is the franchise where whenever it happens at me, I just get startled by how graphics have progressed.
Whenever I see it, I think it's very funny that people genuinely buy this game. It's like sports games to me, where it's just like, yeah, but what are you getting? Like, you can't tell me the story is good. I've played like 7 Call of Duty games. Their stories
I got left off.
But
Actually, kind of left off on a bang because Call of Duty Black Ops 2 or 3 with like the branching story and stuff was like kind of interesting.
Oh. Well, you're in luck, Keith. Guess
I haven't
what?
played a single one since then, so the graphics really startle me because I'm like, oh god, wow. It's kind of these are kind of wild looking. I wouldn't want to play a whole game just to have first person set pieces happen at me, but I'm a bit wowed when I see.
Well, now they're at 6.
May God continue to bless.
What the fuck? Wait, I thought they started the numbers. Oh, they started the numbers over on the other series.
First look at the campaign.
The Modern
for
Warfare
Call of Duty
one,
Black
yeah.
Ops 6.
It's,
Set in the
I'm annoyed not only that there's multiple side franchises that have their own numbering systems, but that one of them reset and the other one didn't, and one of them has a giant number. And like this is, it's a franchise that's so oversaturated that it can handle multiple entire parallel franchises that have too many numbers next to them, like just too many. You're like that's too long in general.
to be fair, the Black Ops franchise is the shittier one. So
Is it? That was the reputation when the first ones came out, because that was back when the original Modern Warfares were coming out. But I think nowadays the new Modern Warfares are known as being shit, and
Correct.
Black Ops was overall, in general, I think Treyarch supposedly overtook Infinity Ward. Infinity
Black
War.
Ops is supposed to be the better of the two in terms of franchises.
Back when I played some of them, Treyarch was seen as the B studio that made World at War and Black Ops, and what are the numbers, Mason? What do they mean? It was a funny meme or whatever. But then, like, supposedly it's Modern Warfare has nosedived or something. But I don't know, man. I just see people yelling about it on Twitter, and that's it.
Yeah, people just yell about shit all day. It's fine.
Anyway, we don't need to watch the Doom video. We already saw it. And also,
We've seen the Doom.
Yeah,
also,
we
fuck Doom. I just found out about how they treated their soundtrack guy.
Yeah,
fucked up.
They treated him awful. They fucked him over. He's like one of the core reasons.
They made him work without pay for like 10 months and then he raised the issue up to like the fucking parent company, which only further revealed that the parent company like also hadn't paid him for a previous job, so they worked the pay for the previous job into the contract for his grievances here, but that still required him to do even more work without any more pay on top of it. What the fuck is happening? Games industry is gross. Everyone should flee it like a burning building.
He's one of the most famous
Oh no, not this game. Okay, well.
So he's treated like that. Imagine those who are not.
Guess what we're playing when it comes out, Andrew? Not that. That's the leftover part of the previous trailer.
Okay.
Every time this franchise comes out and I play one of their games, it immediately becomes one of my most popular things on my entire channel. I don't know why. So I'm gonna be playing this next game at gunpoint, and I'm taking Andrew with me if it's co-op again.
What?
Who were you before?
It's a
Dead by Daylight.
No, of course it's not Dead by Daylight.
Not by Daylight. Dead by Daylight. What is the other one? That shitty one that Microsoft owns?
State of Decay.
Undead Lands?
State of Decay. There you go. Yeah, State of Decay.
State of Decay. Yeah. This is like the fourth one now.
Wait, State of Decay again? You can't be making a third one. Did you see 2? Did anyone play 2? There's no way.
Bad.
What?
You sure it's State of Decay though?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it is.
It's set on the screen. That's how I knew.
Oh.
It's an Xbox Studio. The only Xbox zombie game that exists is State of Decay.
Well, there's a certain open world zombie game they have that
they don't.
Some people defend it.
Nah.
It's a zombie game. It's the one where hordes of zombies are at you. It's the only thing people know about it.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Minecraft.
You're a no, the one where you're a biker. You're a biker and there's zombies.
Oh yeah.
People were hype about it.
This is all pre-rendered. Why? I mean, I suppose.
The game comes out like 60 years. It's fine. Leave it alone.
If you'd seen the graphics of the series, you'd know why it's pre-rendered looking. Oh, that doesn't look.
Yeah.
Those are awkward.
It looks touched up at least.
Those are some awkward canned animations.
Oh yeah, there it is. That's in game.
And that helped us find the courage to keep
it's simulated in game. It's
State of Decay 3 discovered lighting.
Wait, no, you're supposed to shoot him in the chest. That's the orange part.
We can probably get together a 4-player crew this time.
Oh god. No one's gonna stick around though.
Well, that's what happened last time as we started the...
What do you mean
we tried to do a 4-player crew and then people just quit immediately and it was just me and Andrew.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's brutal. How
bad
is the game be?
We have another player in
man.
the first episode and they were just out immediately. They're like, I can get a refund for this. So instead it was just me and Andrew that stuck through it.
Yeah, no, the game is awful. Like, abysmally bad.
There was very entertaining moments, like insane car physics and stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of, like, we can always find some humor and whatever, but it's just the loop of State of Decay is so fucking boring, and the world is so empty, and there's nothing to fucking do. And when you do something, you're like, why am I here? What am I doing? I should just not.
Wait, is it not a scavenging kind of game?
It's like a base building, scavenging, upgrade.
The struggle is that I genuinely, outside of some bugs I remember, is I genuinely struggle to remember the second game at all.
We live on.
What is this now? Get this shit off my property. I gotta get a water heater up here. I don't have time for fucking memorials.
The first game I remember being kind of interesting because it was kind of like, it was a high consequence zombie game where like you could very abruptly die and just lose your whole character and you only have more lives if you recruited more people and then you become the other characters you recruited that are back at the base.
I love that.
But the sequel was like also trying to be a wacky co-op game. And adding co-op in general just inherently makes the stakes lower.
Assassin's Creed.
Oh, this...
Or not Assassin's Creed.
Dragon Age.
Dragon Age. Sorry. Yeah. I don't know why I said Assassin's Creed.
This'll take more than you and me.
So I saw this right after last week's stream.
Yeah, so
people fucking hate this trailer so much.
Why?
They do. I'm not sure why.
It's hard to place.
Okay. No, I get it. It's really dumb.
And on one of the top comments is, was this some kind of Dragon Age? Or was this some...
This is a...
So I think people are burned from the Suicide Squad game, and so any kind of game that people seem to just be mad seeing like you assembling a team and having some quippy dialogue or something. I'm trying really hard to parse why people are angry because I don't care or understand.
It doesn't. I will say the trailer doesn't give me a very good vibe for a Dragon Age game. Dragon Age games always felt like they're supposed to be like stories, This feels like it's a silly little RTS
multiplayer.
game where,
I mean,
it feels like
for me there was always a disconnect because the games are usually fairly lighthearted and funny a lot of the time. Like you have a bunch of wacky party members and stuff, but then the trailers are like 30 seconds to Mars and a hyper pre-rendered cool boy being super edgy with blood on his face, and you're like, that's not good. Then you play the game, you're like, what's this trailer? Why is Dragon Age 2 this edgy guy killing stuff to a 30 seconds to Mars song? So it's more honest to have Varric and Harding quipping at each other because that's what they'll do in the game. They've done it for multiple games now. That's what Varric is.
I think it's more of
Varric's always like that.
For me, yeah, well, one, Varric being back is weird, but two,
Varric's been, it's his third game. He's always around. He's become the main character of the franchise.
He's in the second game as well?
Wow. Yeah.
Varric's introduced in the second game. The entire second game is Varric being interrogated about the events of the game by Cassandra.
Yeah, but
who then becomes a party member in the third game.
Wow.
It's like they added a lot of continuity between party members in the subsequent games, like, which is interesting because the protagonist almost never comes back. So it's an interesting connection to have them be like these people that have connections to each other and that grow over the course of the games. Like I like that approach to it, even if the protagonist keeps getting swapped out. And then Dragon Age Inquisition was just like next level weird and convoluted with its ambitions because it had the protagonist of Dragon Age 2 show up for a scene just to check in and say what he's up to. Yeah.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, like you can
for not a sequel. That's really weird.
Well, so you can go into the website and because at that point everything potentially could have been all on the same Xbox 360, I think, for all three games if you bought, frankly, the shittier version of Inquisition. But if you bought it on on like PS4 or Xbox One or whatever, because it was 2014, the new consoles were out. So if you're buying, I think that's how it worked out. What you could do is you could go on their website and you could fill in the entire history of all of the events that happened that were important for the last two games so that your save file could still be imported via a code and it would still reflect a bunch of certain events at moments throughout Inquisition. So Dragon Age Inquisition did try to do the Mass Effect thing where all three games have continuity. I think Dragon Age 2 didn't do that because there was no reason for anyone in 2 to even know about the people in Origins. But I think
you can import your save though in Dragon Age 2. I remember.
Maybe in some way, yeah. I don't remember if it.
But I don't know what effects it has.
Yeah. But 3 responds to the events of the first 2 games and certain choices you could have made because so many of the characters return in one way or the other, like Morrigan and so on. Morrigan? Was that her name?
I think so.
I'm so out of date now.
Morgana.
I still need to play the third one.
For me, this is a sign of my personal failings, which is that in like 2014, 2015 or whatever, I played Witcher 3 and Dragon Age 3. And then I was like, now it's time for me to go back and play the first 2 games of both franchises on my channel to get caught up. And now it's a decade later and I haven't.
Nice.
Now it's like functionally too late for me to cover the first 2 Dragon Age games before the fourth one comes out. Whoops.
Choices,
I don't know. Is it too late? Old stuff gets traction when new stuff gets released. People watch the thing is
it's too late for me to cover it beforehand.
Yeah,
because games are long.
Because the thing about this game is that it was originally meant to be a sort of more hardcore, replayable, like choice and consequence focused traditional role-playing game. They canceled it back in 2017, I think.
Oh, this is too
long.
And
made it a live service kind of game. Started working on that for live service. That was around the time all the like big honchos left BioWare because they shifted from a
BioWare is a husk of its former self, so the name is kind of meaningless.
They have since supposedly rescoped, and it's probably not going to be a live service.
I've ever met. If she says she's
for me, it's more of the names. I don't really like the name thing. It feels like a weird.
The Veilguard's a worse name than Dreadwolf. Yes.
Should we be
for many reasons.
To get out of
Well, I meant more of when it shows the names of the people in that weird like trailer kind of way. It gave me a feeling of like, oh, this isn't a serious game. This is like a silly, corny Yeah, it's like a silly, corny afterthought, like a... What is this? Is that going to be in the game?
No,
yeah,
I don't think so.
It's going to tell me that what character I picked?
You would have already made your character.
Think you can talk him down before he starts his big ritual?
Maybe you don't get a choice. Maybe you have to start as this guy.
The only thing separating us from the
that's the greatest fear of Twitter.
I have to talk him down.
Bro, this is so good.
People are already being like, "What is this DEI age?" And I'm like, I'm so tired. I'm so tired of the internet.
Get down.
That's pretty good, actually.
It's so fucking exhausting. Like, oh, I can't believe the completely customizable protagonist was black in a trailer. I'm gonna be mad about this now.
Oh my god, that's great. I do love... I'm gonna call it that from now on. DEI.
No.
I love it. That's funny as hell.
Varric is a little unrecognizable.
I mean, you know what? It's got a floating prison. That's pretty DEI.
It's been 12 years.
What the fuck are you talking about?
We're too late. The ritual started.
Dolores DEI.
Stop Solus before it finishes. Let's go.
Wow, he sounds awful.
She'll get us to Dumont Plaza. Watch out!
That's not how he always sounded, is it? I thought he sounded better than that.
Yeah, it sounds a little bit gruffer now.
He sounds like he needs to get replaced. He sounds like he needs
to... It has been a decade.
Yeah.
The veil is weakening, and they're slipping through the cracks.
Wow, look at all this combat. This is crazy.
I'm just so numb to this kind of intro.
Bro, this is awful. I'm going to tell you right now, I would not play this video game. I would return it immediately.
It weirdly does look like a game from 10 years ago.
Yeah,
although
people
do still keep making games like this that have this like really linear setup intro where you just kind of walk forward and stuff keeps happening at you in like a theme park.
I love that. Yeah, I love when I'm not playing video games.
It feels like walking through a haunt like we did like 6 months ago.
Like, yeah, like the thing that pisses me off is that Dragon Age 1 doesn't do this. Dragon Age 1 just like...
What I can to help. The ritual must be
it has you walk to a location where nothing happens, right? Nothing's happening the entire walk. And then as soon as you finish with it, then shit goes down. That's great. That's how it should be. You can use the walk as exposition, but like
the Mass Effect wheel is back. It still has the funny icons that try to explain the options to you.
We're good, but we need to move. Agreed. Solus.
That's a bad decision. Unequivocally.
Yeah. They had it last game and it was bad then too. It's like trying so hard to explain what you click on.
Just make it more understandable.
No, because it's a limitation. You need to... Like, reading the options is part of the fun.
No, just say what you're picking. I don't understand why that's difficult.
Yeah, no, you're saying... You guys are both saying no, but agreeing with each other. You're both saying you want just a list of text options in full.
Oh, yeah, just tell me what I'm saying. That's it.
Give me the Fallout 4 mod that just tells me what the actual dialogue options were.
Nowhere near my neighborhood. I can try.
Don't worry, scouting's my...
The thing about Fallout 4, though, is that they just didn't even try to make it actually say anything different.
No.
Because Mass Effect, at least, it's just normal, traditional dialogue trees. They just have a slightly different presentation.
It might...
Here they come.
I guess this must be something they talked about in a Dragon Age Inquisition or something, and I just didn't play it. Like, what are these ghosts?
Oh, it's just the demons. You would have known this in every game, that there's the Veil, which is the barrier between like the demon land and the real land. If you play the mage,
I don't remember them looking like this though.
Well, sure, but like when you play as a mage, you go on the other side of the Veil and you fight like justice and all these like weird like personifications of concepts and stuff like that. So the entirety of Inquisition was that the barrier was breaking between. The Veil was breaking down, so the demon land was leaking into reality, so you had to keep finding big green vortexes and sealing them with your magic green hand that would repair the Veil. Which, saying all this, as you might imagine, I'm kind of annoyed that this game is just the same premise again as far as I can tell.
I don't get it.
They just did it again? That was the least interesting thing about Inquisition.
Beautiful the ancient world was.
Well, apparently they thought it was the most interesting thing about Inquisition.
But I'm the asshole that thinks Dragon Age 2 is interesting.
Even if his ritual.
One was about the Grey Wardens and the Darkspawn, and that was mostly interesting because the Grey Wardens were weird, fucked up Jedi. 2 was the most interesting because it was about like the small-time politics of this one town over the course of 3 eras and all the shit that happens in this one location. And it was just a more interesting and specific and personal story compared to this stuff. And then 3 was just like, oh man, the magic curtain that keeps the world together is breaking. So go sew it back together across the whole land by doing Ubisoft checklists across the world with a boat. Just do dozens and dozens of hours of open world nonsense. And so the fact that this one's about the Veil again, I'm like, oh god, at least please don't be open world. Don't just be Inquisition again. I don't want to spend 80 hours doing menial tasks just so I can go back to town and listen to my quirky party members, which is the only part I liked.
I mean, it must be something because this is so linear.
Yeah, this is the same.
This is hyperlinear, but it's also probably the first mission of the game.
That's what I'm saying. Is like it's
very
much
you're
like
required at gunpoint to design games this way, seemingly. If you work for EA.
This looks like the same production as the Jedi game. I forget the name of it because they all have names.
I love.
Fallen
it's supposed
Order.
to be immersive, but their attempts to be immersive and atmospheric and stuff in these intros just call attention how video gamey and jank they are. Like,
sorry, that guy was sitting there on the fucking
both of those
menu
guards
screen.
were just staring at the opposite direction from us. And
Yeah,
then they're like, they're blah, 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 kill them all. I'm like, how do you know who I am? You didn't even look at me.
There's no time to roleplay.
They didn't even give them like a Batman Arkham Asylum point at the protagonist animation. They just stood there and did a growly voice. Like, this does feel like it's really behind games that were even they're even trying to ape.
Look, this game is clearly like maybe 2 years away from release. So
yeah,
is it? I thought it was.
Look at this guy. What are you sitting on the menu for? You have one ability. What are you lost?
Yeah, no, they're trying really hard. It's extremely funny artificial shit. They're trying to showcase that there is in fact a tactical menu like Mass Effect 1.
Yeah,
but he doesn't have anything to do. He's just suddenly aiming his one button we can already see it as his hotkey on the bottom of the screen.
Did you notice that the manual?
They could have shown us a level deeper into the game. Like, maybe not super narrative important, but like...
So good to see you. We thought the Venatori had kidnapped you.
I fucking hate these name things, man. They're so ugly.
A lot of Venatori in the city have reason.
I don't want a fucking character card every time I meet somebody. It's so dumb.
That's really corny, actually. Yeah, I agree.
Just talk to people. Just talk to them. Just say, like, hey, thanks for helping me. And it says, like, whatever the name, like, Lisa in the bottom. That's fine. I don't need you to give me a weird, like, Lisa, she's an architect of the Mars, and she fucking shits in her pants every 24 hours. Like, thanks.
The funny thing is that's Harding did say her name at her in that moment. So they did just do the normal thing of just saying her name.
Yeah, just keep that. You don't need a weird, like, she's a mage. No fucking shit. I didn't get that by the wand. Like,
yeah, I agree.
It's ugly. It just doesn't look good in both the interface and it is jarring for a story. Like, we're supposed to be here for presumably a medieval story, and then there's suddenly a fucking name popping up. It's ugly. Don't do it.
Our Lady of Victory.
I liked all the party members last game. I just hope that they're...
Borderlands is a good exexample of not to do stuff in video games.
This ritual's already drawing.
I did not like the party members in Andromeda, which I guess was the last BioShock game, BioWare game, like 7 years ago or something.
No, Anthem. How could you forget?
Oh right, Anthem existed. No one remembers it. Is it still even up? Is it gone?
I don't think so.
I feel like I heard Anthem just went away, like it closed down.
They stopped developing it.
Does it have party members? I don't even know.
What? Wait, what? Wait, what? Wait, you're skipping parts of the game? Why?
Well, we're not in Monroe.
I think they're just trying to get further in because RPG long, and they're trying to show a vertical slice for the demo.
This is all. It's all fake. Just make it better. Like, just make the thing that you want to show off. I don't.
The tremors are getting worse.
Because, like, here's the worst part. Either this is real, this is actually what's in the game, and God fucking, you need to change that. Or you made
the
this
title
for
card's
the
not
demo.
Real. It's just they skipped a segment.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Or you're making this for the game, in which case, make it more condensed? Why are you making it like this? Like, you have full control over this fake demo. Just make it better. What the fuck?
I mean, I can't judge the quality of a thing we didn't see, so I don't know if it was good or bad.
I'm saying this, what we're watching right now. This is awful. This is a terrible display of the game. This does not make me want to buy a game.
You have no buttons, so you just sit here and you mash the one button you have. Which is that's always the rough part about early game. It was alleviated by the first game being a CRPG, so you had a party.
That's what I'm saying.
Managing.
That's exactly what I'm saying. It's like if you do the Dragon Age 1 thing, this would make it 100% better and more tolerable. But stop doing this. Just show me the fucking thing.
That's what I'm watching for, and I'm getting worried the longer they don't show it.
It's not happening, Keith. It's not there.
Yeah,
that's like just embrace that.
They used the Mass Effect camera menu thingy, and I'm like, no, show me tactical view. Where's tactical view?
Crazy?
No,
making tactical view.
They had tactical view last game. Dragon Age Inquisition had tactical view, despite 2, I think, being a hack and slash game. Yeah, I stubbornly played the entirety of Dragon Age Inquisition from a CRPG camera angle on a console.
Wow.
I did not know this.
The intended experience.
My entire it was awkward that I was playing it on console with a controller, but because the controls were rough for that. But yeah, I literally played Inquisition on hard mode in tactical view the entire game. It was jank.
Like that the bosses
There's definitely moments where your characters just ignore your orders and decide to do something else instead. You're like, what the fuck are you doing? And I could never quite stop their AI from taking over and overriding my commands sometimes, which is very annoying. But yeah, like I saw the hack and slash boring game, and I immediately pivoted to just being in tactical view. I'm like, aha, I'll order my team around. So like I'm waiting for that to show up here, and I hope they don't think that having a dodge roll to really badly emulate slight Souls combat is like enough reason not to have tactical view. Like, oh, you got to be in it so that you can really manually do these incredibly forgiving dodges where you teleport.
There's also boss things on the ground. I love that. Very Final Fantasy.
Well, I would be very surprised if they have tactical mode.
No, I don't think they do. They would have shown it by now.
Bro, what was that move?
They definitely would have shown it by now because they keep forcing us to look at the incredibly embarrassing menu where he has no buttons to press.
Yeah, good point.
I think that menu would be even better if you just included a single like categories of stuff.
I hate how
just the
hard
one
to look
move.
at that menu is.
It is also incredibly ugly.
It's got
but
4 separate quadrants that are broken because they wanted to make a circle, but they also wanted to make a 16:9 screen. So they just broke the circle into 4 chunks, and they all don't line up with each other.
I feel like it would make more sense if you had items or if you had more things on there, because then you can see, does it have items? Can you put key stuff in there?
Yeah,
you know, like more than just
there's no gameplay at this part of the game that they're showing as their gameplay showcase, so you just walk forward and hit the one attack button a lot.
Maybe, you know what? And honestly, maybe this is just Dark or Demon Souls now, or whatever it's called, Dragon Age. I can't even. God.
All right, I'll take it from.
It's all the games in your head, Andrew.
Okay. Right. Everything starts with a D. Every goddamn game.
That's right, actually. I didn't think about that.
So I think that Rook is not the Inquisitor.
Another option to help him justify changing his
So it's a 4th new character?
This guy, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's a character in the game, but I think he is not your character. He's not your player character.
No, I think you are Rook. I'm saying I don't think he's the Inquisitor, which is the protagonist of 3.
I gotta try to reach him.
Oh.
You played as the Grey Warden, then you played as Hawk, then the Inquisitor, and now I think you're Rook. They're doing the thing where they give you a last name so they can refer to you in the voice acting. But no one was named Rook. You weren't named Rook last game.
Rook, take care of the team for me.
That's gonna be funny with generative AI, when voice acting can start to actually refer to your name, and then people are just gonna continue naming themselves all sorts of names.
Solus, an interesting character. I don't fully remember why anymore because it's been 10 years, but I liked Solus and thought he was interesting 10 years ago.
He's from the third only, right? He doesn't appear in the second.
Yeah. He's your party member that turns out to be the Dreadwolf by the end.
Spoilers.
And he's a villain.
Spoilers.
It's too late.
Spoilers.
The sequel's out where he's the villain.
Yeah. Dang it.
Derek is getting through to Solus.
We better talk fast. We can't hold these demons up forever.
You took too long.
Spoilers.
The trailer, the fucking sequel is out about him being the villain.
It's fine. I'll forget it.
Okay.
You know how my memory is.
It really isn't that. Like.
It's also not that different because it's also what they did with Morgan, and if that was her name.
Oh, no,
I don't remember what her
really?
name was. Morgan?
Yeah, it's Morgan.
I think it's
Morgan
Morgana.
Webb? Morgana?
Morrigan.
Morgan. I think it was Morgan.
The veil is a wound inflicted upon this world. It must be.
Because she like steals your baby and runs away.
She didn't have my baby. I said no to that lady.
Well, it's one of the endings. She steals your baby and runs. She always runs away because there's an ending about her running off.
Yeah, because there's a DLC.
Right now, you need to listen.
Yeah, man, his voice is awful.
Yeah, he's a little.
Please.
He growls at you. When you say please.
No, not the iconic crossbow.
I actually really like the party members in Inquisition. I liked Sarah and Cole and Solus. Cassandra.
We need a better plan.
You have an
shows up at the end of
like an
the
arrow. Yeah, shoot him.
Or halfway.
No, that's not true.
Inquisition had so many party members, they added like 3 more that aren't even real party members but function as them. They're like your town party members.
Like Baldur's Gate 3 has.
Consequences.
And what about the demons?
Although oftentimes those just become actual party members.
Right, you two stay here. I'll bring down the statue.
What? No. Stepping into all that raw magic is suicide.
The dialogue is also like, this is just cutscenes.
Yeah.
There's no pretense here that you're playing
But you'll need backup.
an RPG. It's just like, this is the thing that happens next.
I'll go.
The boys and
Yeah,
girls.
no matter who you are, no matter who you think you are, Rook is always this person that did this part. Like,
Yeah.
he always took this stand and reacted this way to danger.
Let's go, Hardy. Nev, keep the demons off us.
You get to see somebody who isn't your character, which is, can be fun for sure, but that's not what RPGs do.
Yeah, like
Not
even
Witcher.
Witcher 3 gave you more control over Geralt.
Yeah. Because at least The Witcher 3, we can only see right now. Me and Andrew, we can only see at 720p. So
No, it's not. It's not the like the stream is bad. It's just the game looks bad. I don't like how it looks. I think it's
got
too,
like a really
it's
aggressive like HDR look to it.
Yeah.
Oh, is
the
it
color
smooth
is
for you
really
as well?
shit.
It's super smooth.
Yeah. It looks like somebody like acetone the whole thing. It's
Well,
very
it looks- it-
awful.
For you as well.
It reminds me of the visuals of that shitty Final Fantasy game.
I think I know what you're talking about.
The one that's like a remake of Final Fantasy 1 or something, but as a 4-player hack and slash that we played. Shadow.
Oh yeah.
Stranger of Paradise. Remember how that game was impossible to look at the whole game?
Yeah.
It had such a
Like,
intense
look at this
It was like
wood.
it had like hyper contrast,
man.
hyper saturation, and it was like it was just kind of rough.
It was
to
like
look
a
at.
bad port.
Okay, so realistically here, Dragon Age doesn't need to look like Modern Warfare. I don't think I am going to
that's a good
lose the
call.
ability. I don't think
That's a
I'm
good
going to lose the
comparison.
ability to enjoy what's happening if it doesn't look like that, right? It's
It's not about fidelity for me. It's about the style. Like the visual style looks
the
kind of rough.
style.
that's what I'm saying. It feels like
they,
it's
it
trying
feels
to
like
be
they went
too
through
realistic.
the settings and turned on every visual effect to make it more visually. More effects.
Like, okay, so let's like throw pretense out the window here. Why the fuck are you wasting time with all this rain on these people? I don't want raindrops on these people. Get the fucking raindrops off. This is wasting my GPU. What I care about is the ability for the game to run consistently, and rain isn't going to help that.
Oh,
rain doesn't add
we
realism.
sat through
Rain
the
doesn't.
full 20 minutes.
Oh, good job.
That's why 20 minutes. 20 minutes, and I didn't get a single.
I'm a little taken
fucking
aback by how
reason.
this is a really bad thumbnail.
That's an awful thumbnail.
Like,
not YouTubers.
It doesn't have to be good. Yeah,
it's just like the Kunari in this shot looks hilarious. That face looks hilarious. That being your introduction to Veilguard is this thumbnail being your first introduction is hilarious.
They're Kunari.
Yeah, you can see the
that
horns.
Makes way more sense. I thought that was hair. I thought they just had their hair
so much better in
back.
the second game.
They look better in the third game.
Yeah,
my Kunari was hot, but like
all Kunaris are hot in the second game.
I think Kunari looked best in the second game.
Yeah, no, they were really cool in the second game. This Kunari does look like it's just a human actor with prosthetic makeup for Star Trek. There's like an awkwardness to it that feels unnecessary when they're 3D characters. like it does look like a real person wearing Kunari makeup for the live action adaptation, but it's the 3D model. That's a weird problem to have. And that's how I would describe what looks weird about this.
I agree.
It's frustrating
because
I
were
feel
fucking
like
cool in the second game, except for the part where they were horrible.
Well, yeah,
I feel
they
like
were
watching
fascists, but it was an interesting conundrum.
Watching this game,
I am such a fucking Dragon Age 2 apologist because it was really interesting.
It's such a great. I really enjoyed it, honestly.
Yeah,
it's probably my favorite. Well, apart from Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, it's probably my favorite BioWare game.
It feels almost, and I get the complaints that they would reuse environments for certain dungeons and stuff like that. But one,
it's bad.
But like I'm like one. People put up with that everywhere else. And two, it's just like, I don't know, man. The level design has never been that much of the experience in Dragon Age dungeons, so I would only half notice anyway, because it's like, oh, you go in there and you fight the thing and then the cutscene happens and you do the dialogue. And the dialogue's new because that's the whole point.
And personally, I have more of a problem with the fact that they have enemies respawning on point. So if you just stay still, enemies teleport to you. I have way more of a problem with that sort of combat design than I do with the
I think Dragon Age 2, one of its biggest struggles was that it had a lot of fights where it would just spawn waves at you continuously.
It's so bad. And the reason they do that is because
clearing and fight for a long time.
The reason they started doing that, not them specifically, BioWare, but as a gaming industry, is because of technological limitations of you can't have too many characters on screen.
You want to have a big fight, but you can't actually have that many people unless you want to run like Dynasty Warriors.
So but then you lose detail, or you have to come up with all these smart tricks. So what they do is they respawn on people, and people are okay with that. It's grown, like it's infected every action role-playing game where these days there's no more. It used to be that you'd have a level, and all the enemies would be preset to their places on the level, and you'd run around the level and you'd fight the monsters as they were set in the level. These days you have spawn points. And then you trigger the fight, and the enemies appear. Or maybe there's some already, but there's more. There's like 5 waves on every fight.
For me, what stands out is that like I almost feel like people would like Dragon Age 2 more if it came out now, because tastes have worsened. Which isn't the biggest praise I can give a game, but
it's actually that is.
But I'm just thinking about how like fucking Destiny sold a paid expansion that was just previous levels that you played backwards with a different ghost. Remember that, Andrew?
That is
true. The first expansion was just old levels that you played backwards. Like they didn't add new levels. And then, Dragon Age Inquisition happened, and it was that was all towards the further push towards this Ghost of Tsushima and whatnot era, where people love these open world games where you just do one task 500 times, and they call that gameplay, and they love it and they praise it. So by comparison, I'm like, Dragon Age 2 is way less repetitive than most games people like now. Like, what the fuck? Like, people praise games for having so much content when it's just like regurgitated repetitive nonsense, just copy pasted all over the map. And it's like, Dragon Age 2 is way better paced than this. Jesus Christ. Like, I feel like it's like how once upon a time people hated Bethesda horse armor, but now they buy battle passes, and you're like, wait.
Yeah.
It'd be so hard to explain to people why people were mad at the horse armor now if you went back. And so, like, similarly, I think people's taste is so weird now that I'm like, maybe you shouldn't listen to the people that all complain about Dragon Age 2 if it's based on complaints that you don't agree with, because you clearly like repetition in all the other games you play.
I don't.
This isn't even me. This is not even me doing like personal praise. I find it interesting that the entire discourse has moved on essentially because it doesn't match up anymore. Because I also I'm not in favor of that. I like games to have more bespoke stuff. Like I complain about Elden Ring being full of so much repetitive stuff because I specifically praised Dark Souls for being so memorable and so specific that you can literally like draw a map of what the game was like because you remember what it was like, and you can even remember where the enemies were placed because they were unique encounters all the way through. And I can't even draw you a map of Elden Ring anything, really. Like, it'd be a huge struggle. But everyone loves it more, and all the Dark Souls fans love it, all the non-Dark Souls fans love it. It's the most successful thing ever, and so I'm crazy and wrong, apparently.
Yeah.
But then why is Dragon Age 2 selectively get in trouble? It's cool when Elden Ring uses the same dragon fight 75 times.
I was gonna say I cut more stuff out of my Elden Ring Let's Play than I cut out of my Dragon Age 2 Let's Play, and I cut a bunch of stuff out of including quests. Those sort of Radiant quests that aren't called Radiant, but they feel like it, where you just go to a place and kill a bunch of people, and there's a note. Like, those were so bad.
Yeah,
I hated that.
But who made Dragon Age, right? Versus who made Elden Ring?
David Gator came up with
that. There is a double standard where if you are literally the Western studio that's accused of having the woke mind virus every 5 years, then everyone hates your games. But if you're a Japanese studio of any kind, you just get a free pass because you're cool and based, and people love Japanese studios.
Japanese people
There's an
can't
insane
be woke
standard.
Japanese people are always sleeping. That's the thing. So
sleeping. That's not what.
It's been absolutely wild seeing the reaction to the new trailer for Dragon Age. People saying, "I can't believe Dragon Age is woke now," and I'm like, "What? No, what the fuck, you guys? I had to live through Gamergate as a closeted gay man who was making internet content covering Dragon Age Inquisition while it came out, and everyone was fucking weird about that game at the time. Like, you don't get to act like you've been a fan all the way up till now, and then now just Veilguard looks woke to you, and now you're mad. I'm like, you fuckers.
Yeah, they can.
Dragon Age.
They can do that because
BioWare games have been the only places where I can be gay for like the last 15 years.
But the people saying this shit weren't alive when Dragon Age 1 came out. Like, these are people who didn't play other Dragon Age games. They're fans of Dragon Age Inquisition. That's it. These aren't people who play BioWare games. These are people who played a BioWare game.
But Dragon Age Inquisition was also, it was the specific game that got the most backlash for being the most woke.
But it didn't have a black protagonist, so...
Neither does this one. It just had a trailer where
it does. Then why does it have a black guy in the front center? And if it wasn't about black people, so I think that
Dragon Age Inquisition was the game where people they're making the women ugly on purpose because woke. That was like where this whole argument started. Literally a decade ago was specifically Dragon Age Inquisition.
But then Andromeda came out, and people realized that BioWare just doesn't know how to make women anymore. Then it was fine. We all forgave them. It's
this deeply frustrating thing because it's like Sarah's not allowed to just be a character. She has to be hot for some reason. And it's like, what?
Well, okay.
It's the yassification of everything.
One, this is the highest of vocal minorities that we're addressing here. But two, none of it matters at all anyways, because even the people that they point at with like their nasty, crusty little fingers and that's a hot video game
vocal minorities
character.
now because Gamergate 2 is cringe, but they were always cringe. But this one, it's embarrassing this time because they're very much not as big of a group as they think they are. Gamergate 1 was way too fucking big of a group. That was a huge problem for everybody. And
Gamergate 2 was like
having the first game be like Dragon Age Inquisition being at the center of that outrage for a while. It's bizarre revisionism to act like they weren't already saying this stuff back then. What the fuck is happening?
But it's bizarre revisionism, but it's not out of character revisionism because that's what they do.
Because
that's their rule book.
I mean, we are literally every single one of us forgetting that we had an entire fucking segment on Fox News about Mass Effect 1 and how intolerable it is for a society to have a visual of gay people existing. Like in 2010 or something like that, like 2005, I don't know.
2009. Yeah,
2009. So like you're mad, like this shit.
It wasn't about gay people. It was they were going after it for having adult content. Because they were
it wasn't adult content. You cannot see.
It was not.
anything.
No. It was they were making a big stink about Mass Effect being a porn game that children that was selling porn to children essentially, but actually it was just one, an M-rated game, and two, the one sex scene in the entire thing, you have to go through the entire game to earn getting really specific interactions with specific people and so on, and then it's just the most vanilla, like, chaste, yes, I'm confirming that they're having sex scene that doesn't have anything. There's no genitalia or anything. You see like a butt
not
cheek.
Even nips. Yeah, a butt cheek and no nips.
And it's like, and they made this big stink about it. And yeah, that was the sex box thing that had Jeff Keighley on it. And
sex box.
Yeah, yeah. The fucking the subtitle said sex box, and it was Jeff Keighley versus like some conservative writer or something that didn't play the game or know anything about it, and they did that thing that I always hate about.
That's just the normal stuff, though. To be fair,
yeah, but they did the thing that makes me always unsubscribe, or like it makes me unsubscribe when other people do it. Obviously, I was unsubscribed to Fox News, but where they laugh at the idea of even engaging with the thing, and it's like, well, then why are you talking about it? It's like, have you played it? No, or whatever. I'm like, what? Why are you an expert on this panel? Why are you discussing this?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Why are you here? Like, everyone's shouting over Jeff Keighley the whole time, but like Jeff Keighley's the one that like actually knows the game because he's, you know, the only expert on this panel, and everyone's just shouting over him for being able to explain anything. It's very annoying.
Anyways, the point I'm trying to make is that all this shit has been said before, so I'm not impressed, nor am I going to take it with seriousness, because, yeah, this has just been Dragon Age. Dragon Age has just had, you can be whatever character you want to be. You could fuck whoever you want to fuck. Okay, cool.
No, you can't. They don't.
Whatever, man. You can fuck guys, you can fuck girls. It has never been a barrier of entry. You can make your character look how
now
pretty
that
much
less than ever, they've announced that just every character is bisexual.
Great. No, you know what? Good for them. I couldn't give two shits. Like, it does not impact my ability to play the game at all. Like,
I suppose taking it seriously as a design decision and criticizing it seriously, the fact that they made all characters bisexual, I think there's still room, I think it's good that all characters are bisexual if you're going to have romance in your role-playing games, but there's still room for people to have specific
I'm sure there are characters that can be, because I'm sure there's characters that can
tell
be straight.
A story.
It's fine,
right? Just
yeah, it's a flattening that's frustrating, but we can't even have that conversation because everything's being weird and absurd.
That's the thing.
There's specific value in having people all have their own specific identity and that be separate from me across the roster. It frustrates people because what does lead to that, what it does end up doing is that you have X number of party members, then you pick male or female, and then immediately you're like, okay, here's your like one or two options. So like in a gameplay, in a video game, you get so few options to experience that you have to then keep making new characters based on the sexual compatibility with different characters and look up a spreadsheet about it as opposed to just getting to have the adventure you want to have. So it kind of go both ways, but there's a value in having everyone be bisexual and open so that you can just engage with the relationships with whoever you want to and see where that storyline goes. But there is a flattening of the characters that makes them less characters as a result. Because people are because among other things, a gay person and a straight person are different in ways other than that they are gay and straight.
What?
So you have to
okay, continue.
So you can't it's just confusing. Are they going to write any of these characters they're kind of straight, or and another one's they're kind of gay, or something like that? Not in the stereotypes.
Well, they're not allowed to hire.
There's a specificity of the experience, and is anyone ace in this game?
Yeah, Keith, you can't do that. You can't hire gay people. That's DEI.
No, but that's true. Even for I think for ace representation that does stand, I think particularly in the way is making everybody bi.
Yeah.
I don't think the romance options tend to be taken nearly as seriously in regards to the narrative as a lot of other functions or features do. So it tends to just be oh yeah, shit, we got to make these characters fuckable, and they just go through and say yeah, they're sure they're all fuckable, I guess, because it doesn't have any actual.
But
But it doesn't really tend to have any. It doesn't have any weight to the story. For me, that's the bigger problem. I think when you romance a character, it should matter a little bit more to the story rather than just being like, I don't know, that one's hot, and you just pick them out, and then you just go down a silly little side quest where they're just like, oh my god, I've never cried in front of anybody before. We must fuck now. And you're
There's a lot of opportunities to make it like a specific experience, like. Mass Effect 2, you can romance somebody, and then you have to take them on the suicide mission, and that's steeply stressful.
That's what I'm thinking of. That's exactly what I'm thinking of. That's cool. I like that. Do more stuff like that.
For me, I think a lot of it comes down to like the texture. Is that like you get a lot of texture and specificity of experience when it was a particular writer's personal mission to write this character this way, and they had a goal for it all. And so my worry is whether or not they even have people like that have a favorite, like you have writers that have their favorite pet character that they're really like going in a specific way with, or if it's like, I don't know, corporate said we have to make the next BioWare game. We're BioWare now, by the way, just in case you didn't know. Put on the BioWare shirts. Anyway, so BioWare games, they're gay, and you have a bunch of party members, and they're quirky, and people romance them. So we'll make them all romanceable, and like if it's being written in a checklist sort of way, it could be so deeply uninspired, and that's not. I don't want corporate queerness like as a narrative. Like it'd be really sad to play if I play the games and these characters don't feel like people really, because that's
it's going to be very obvious if that's the case, though, because especially in romance, it's already hard enough as it is. If it doesn't come from the heart, it's hard enough to write romance. If it doesn't come from a heart, it's going to be very obvious.
There's a bit of that even in like Andromeda was where this kind of strained. I feel like where like most of the party members were like completely untextured and unmemorable, and then I think.
Probably not enough
there was kind of a sense that just PB was like their pet character. They really like original character Do Not Steal. She gets all the unique characteristics and the lesbian backstory and quirky scenes and like funnier comic timing cutscenes made just for her and stuff like that. I think that's what her name was, the Asari.
Oh right. I was trying to remember. Yeah, definitely. I agree with you. From watching your Let's Play, anyway.
You never played Andromeda? I don't know why I'm saying that like you should have or anything.
No, I haven't.
You correctly preemptively opted out of Andromeda? Crazy.
Yeah, you better go play it right now. Go back to the mines.
I really like boot it how... Maybe it's me, though. Let's be frank. Maybe it's me, but I really like...
Just you.
The way Baldur's Gate 3 did its romances, where even a straight romance has a lot of queerness in a lot of the lines. Now I haven't played all of the romances, because there's a bunch of characters and I've only played three romances. But even if your character is male and they're female or vice versa, there's still a lot of queerness to the writing, and I don't know if that's due to the fact that they made just made the romances be bisexual, even if it is a heterosexual couple, and so the perspective they're writing from is inherently queer, or at least I see that anyway. But I don't know what your experience is, Keith, with Baldur's Gate 3, or the romances anyway. But I felt that they achieved a very good.
My experience with Baldur's Gate 3 is that every single character that I found interesting rejected me, and then the one character that I found really boring was into me, and I'm like, oh.
Oh, poor Will.
Will is so boring because he's just like
he's a live as well.
He's just this like fucking like
he's a cop
apologist. He's just like the like exiled prince archetype. So he's just like really noble, and his mission is the most important like thing in his life, and he's dedicated to just this one thing of doing good. And then just has the guilt of like, oh, my dad rejected me and so on. And like, there's like a hint of a queer story there with his dad's disapproval and what he's become and so on. But it feels underdeveloped.
It's not played for, it's not played
especially since Will's story has so many other characters taking over his story, like the demon, that like they're crowding him out of his own story to an extent. So he just comes out really flat. Because everyone around him is more interesting. Like the demon is more interesting than he is.
Yeah, but he in his defense, and I no spoilers. His sort of climax of his story is probably the most interesting any companion quest ever gets in terms of like subtext for me. Anyway, for one, I think it was the only time.
Yeah, I've admitted the experience in the game in slow motion with Toaster,
of course,
via technical difficulties and long hiatuses, and still haven't finished it after all this time, and also haven't gotten to experience basically anybody else's, except I have seen what's her name? Because Toaster's romancing her.
Oh,
Lizelle.
It's a lot.
Oh, Lizelle. Oh yeah, she's cool.
Yeah. Yeah,
she's so horny violent.
She's so fucking horny all the time.
I just don't.
Yeah,
like
she has
her
really
at
lovely
all.
scenes.
I
don't
honestly.
like she fight fucks. Like she's violent.
It's not even that. It's
she's so much.
She does though. She does that.
She's just like she's annoyingly cringy. Like everything she says,
not
I'm like,
cringy.
Shut up. Go back in the back of the room or whatever. Shut up.
She's just
weirdo.
Miss what's her name? She's
I mean, Andrew doesn't like having. Andrew usually doesn't like having party members to begin with, so one of them is extremely strong-willed. He's not going to like them.
She's literally wrong every time. We showed up to a fight, and she's like, "You can't win this fight. My people are too strong," and I just whooped their people. I was like, why? Shut up. Just go sit in. No, I'm playing on hard. Excuse you. But also put them.
Oh my god.
That is
of course because they're fucking garbage. No Yankee can stand up to me.
Man,
Yankee are dumb as fuck.
That was a reasonable warning. That's an extremely tough fight.
That is such a
we had to come back 10 hours later or something.
All I did was I was like, okay, cool. Well, that's why I'm holding on to 20 oils, and I just like oil. Like, oh my god, oh Jesus!
I think
every Yankee was slipping on fire. I think I've heard they couldn't do anything.
I think I've heard of specifically what you're talking about, which is actually not so much her, but a warning the game gives you is that your party members are meant to warn you based on what level you are compared to that fight, because you can reasonably fight it at a certain point, but you can also find it super early and it'll probably obliterate you. So what happened is that you did a proper D&D and cheesed a fight that the DM made for you to not be able to win. Which is classic.
Specifically does this. Yeah. She does this all the time, though.
Yeah.
Like, anytime we're doing something, she'll tell me outright, "This is what we have to do." Githyanki says, and I'm like, "I'm not going to do that." And also, you're wrong. And also, ratio. And we just don't follow her advice. And we are fine. We succeed. We always come out on top every time we don't do what she says. I fucking hate her. Go away.
That's why
you're
I'm saying she's a misfit.
You're not.
She doesn't belong in this world.
She's not a misfit. She's just annoying. She's an annoying little cringy shit who sits there and yells at me all day about how like her people are strong, she is right, her people are right, and then I just prove her wrong every time. Don't talk to me. Sit in your corner. Don't fucking speak. I don't need you here.
No,
get the fuck away from me, you ugly,
protected.
horrible creature. Like no, I don't want her anywhere near me. She's just the worst character. Just the worst fucking character. Like at least Shadowheart is like she's wrong and rude.
Shadowheart has her memories wiped. She's
that's what I'm saying. But she has an excuse for being that way because she was literally like abused as a child. The Yankee's just stupid. She's just a dumb idiot. Like go away.
That's fair.
Like
that's
God.
Fair. I mean, they are basically.
Like I could apologize for Shadowheart and I could forgive
fascists.
her, but I cannot fight. Same with the stupid angel. The angel does it too. I get so
how
annoyed.
Dare you? The angel is so intense.
But guess what?
She's so fucking intense.
Why did I have to do all the work to save her then? If she's so fucking strong, why doesn't she just save her fucking self?
Try not to spoil too many things regarding her.
That's the thing though. It's like every character that you need to go and do something for in that game always comes at you with the most indignant fucking attitude about like, oh, we need to do it this way. And I'm like, I'm not going to listen to you. You needed to be rescued. Guess who didn't need to be rescued? This guy. The guy who brought down a fucking ship on his own by escaping on his own. I don't need any of you. Shut up. I'm going to do it the right way. Trust me. Just trust me on it.
This is the usual energy.
The cool thing is that all the companions really push. What you're referring to is about them being, insistent and sure of themselves. All of the companions, when you're trying to convince them of something that they don't believe in, they really push back. It's lovely. Those conversations where you're trying to convince them to not do what they want to do, and I think it applies to.
Which does just make it funnier when you do one dice roll and then change their mind.
No, but you don't though. You do like you need to choose the right options, and I think you need to do multiple dice rolls in multiple conversations to get them to change their mind.
Yeah, it depends on what the
At
thing
least
is.
I remember Lae'zel being super, super aggressive in when I was trying to convince her that she was wrong. Whatever. She was. I was very satisfied with how pushy they are, to the point where in the end of the game, I actually just got convinced, or chose to let myself be convinced by.
We gotta get moving, or we're never gonna get through this though. I'm gonna skip over these because I think it's expansions to Starfield and Fallout 76 games, and neither of us play and look like garbage. So who cares?
Fair.
Yeah, fair.
So that saves us some time.
Yeah.
Bye, Bethesda.
Premiere.
Oh no, not the Eiffel of Towers.
That's not Eiffel Tower. The Eiffel Tower is upright. That one is all twisted.
Yeah. Oh no, I got
right.
Rule 34'd.
Wake and paint again.
Why does that say 34? The thing's called 33.
Why does it say 34?
Ticking down every year.
Oh, it's going down. Okay. That's like the game's called 33. Question answered.
Immediately they answer the question.
And every year, an expedition departs for the continent with one hopeless mission.
I don't even know what I'm looking at, honestly. It's very funny.
Like a disintegrating world or something.
Death again.
Okay, so it's just an RPG. All right.
So she can't steal anyone else's future.
This world is full of wonders. Yet everywhere we go, we walk with death.
Oh, that was a cool looking boss.
Its aesthetic is immediately a nice thing to look at after Dragon Age. Wait,
wow, this combat's really dynamic. Whoa, look at those menus.
Whoa.
Wow, what is this? Is this somebody who actually wanted to make a game?
This is
That's crazy.
This is sure some stylization for a turn-based combat screen.
Oh, she parried his ass.
Yeah,
no, this looks... Whoa! These boss designs are fun. I like them. I don't like the human designs. The characters actually look...
It looks like it's the meta build from Elden Ring. the two colored katanas. It's what everyone uses to fight millennia.
We lay the trail for those who'll come after. Right. We
I don't know.
are Expedition 33.
But its premise makes
I thought
me
it counts down, though.
Its premise
So
makes
every
me
time
hope that it has permadeath.
Is the idea that every time your expedition dies, the number counts down?
I don't know.
I think so.
That's what happens in the story. I don't know if that happens in the... If you can do that in the narrative. I don't even know if you can try 33 times.
Oh, okay.
Its setting sets up the idea that it could have interesting mechanics going on. But it might just be a generic RPG.
Mom's still alive?
No, your mom's toe dead.
Oh, I saw this trailer. Tell me what you think about this presentation.
It's just hard to believe this is all really happening.
It's animated. Looks like it's animated on 2s or 4s or whatever.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Oh, it's the Bayou game. We saw this last presentation.
We did.
Shh. I don't remember that. What the fuck is that fish?
He wasn't in it, but she was.
Oh, okay.
We saw a stylish Bayou game last year.
Big gator. I gotta drop you off fast.
I don't like the frame rate thing.
You said you helped me find my mama.
I ain't have a disposition to be gator snacks.
Well, me neither.
I kind of dig how it looks like stop motion.
I'm all ears.
There's a church up a ways with a big bell. Go on and ring it.
You want to make him come running?
Tom can't abide the sound of bells. Some church folks once tried to dynamite him, and he didn't take that too kind. If you ring that bell, he might skedaddle.
You better not skedaddle.
Go on now, scoot. I'll pick you up yonder after to go find your mom.
Trifling ass mudcat.
What genre is this game? I keep wondering.
Because now look, normal
RPG.
frame rate. Same models, normal frame rate.
Honestly, I'm gonna share with you a secret. I think if you make it animated that way, you don't have to worry about low frame rate.
Wait.
I think it's kind of.
I don't think that's what they're doing. So since the background didn't have low frame rate.
No, but I promise you this game's gonna run like poop when it comes out. So it's gonna be nice.
It is weird.
It's animated that way.
It is weird to go back and forth. Yeah. I was wondering what the gameplay was gonna look like because it's animated like that.
I like how it's animated.
But look, the bosses play fluid. Like why?
Because if you kept it that way, it would be awful. Weird. I wouldn't play a game if it was like
it would be a different
animated
kind of
like
game.
that.
I see a lock on and a dodge roll, and just for a second I'm like, Souls time? And then I see the person running around a giant area and kind of having a bunch of opening and free time and a big health bar that you just kind of chunk through, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Time to find that church.
It's God of War.
Immediately I'm like, oh, so the combat's tedious. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, it's just gonna be a God of War repetitious.
But that's the thing is God of War was
the water.
That's the thing is people forget God of War was a fucking character action game.
The original.
I'm talking about the new one.
I meant like originally like God of War was like Devil May Cry. It was in Bayonetta. It's about all these crazy combos and style. It's like people need to fucking commit.
I like the visuals.
Either be a Souls-like, or be a character action game, or be like a Zelda-style like puzzle combat game. Don't just do nothing and just ask me to just mash the attack button for combat and dodge sometimes, and that's all I do. Because then I'll just be. That immediately makes the game a game where I'm just kind of getting through the gameplay for the sake of it to get to the next part that it was fun, which is like the story or whatever. Look at how the game's 500 times more interesting when you're not playing it.
So dumb.
Like that's what stood. Yeah, that's rough. What stands out to me about that trailer is that the game is 500% more interesting when you're not playing it.
Yeah.
The gameplay looked so boring, and then it got to the like, look at the crazy giant crocodile crushed the house and he's Then you go back to mashing A on someone probably.
I do get exceedingly tired of games that put all of its fun stuff into cutscenes.
Yeah.
I don't need. I'm here to do that stuff. I want to be in the church when the church gets attacked by a gator. That sounds fun. Like I don't want to. I don't know. I don't want to fly across a bayou.
Yeah.
You can.
World of Warcraft, whatever.
What? A new World of Warcraft expansion? Hell yeah! Finally.
Illidan's back.
Oh yeah, this is the new. I think it's the new Silent Hill.
Listen up, Jack.
No, this is the remake.
This is not Silent.
Metal Gear. Sorry, I get them confused. They're making a new Silent Hill though.
Naked Snake.
Oh, it's just Metal Gear 3.
Pyramid Head.
Yeah, they're just Metal Gear Solid 3 remade with less style.
This will be a
they're calling it Triangle, I think.
You must not be seen by the enemy.
They're probably calling it Delta.
Is that clear?
Oh, yeah, they're calling it Delta.
They're probably not calling it Triangle.
In other words,
that would make more sense.
To procure on site. That goes for as well.
Triangles do have 3 sides. I get where you thought
just
that.
As your name implies.
But isn't the Delta the
yeah, it is a triangle, but I'm just. I don't.
Whose crazy idea was this anyway?
I don't like how this looks just like a generic HD game.
Entirely in your hands.
Well, that's because you're remembering Snake Eater had a fun yellow filter over it that made it look cool.
It also just had a distinct style.
Yeah.
An identity.
Well, I guess.
It's weird watching.
I mean, visually it looked.
It's strange looking like the characters just like they're dressed like the characters from the game, but it looks like if they're in someone else's game, like as guest stars.
Yeah. Oh my god.
I guess they're like, well, we don't have Kojima anymore to make good stuff, so we'll just remake his stuff over and over again.
Well,
yep,
okay.
That's pretty much.
That's unfair. Everyone's doing that, regardless of Kojima fame or not.
I wonder if they're calling it Delta. I wonder if they're calling it Delta to try to sell it as a new game because, like, if you call it 3, people are just gonna get confused. Like, why are you making 3 specifically?
Now.
Because there's been like no sign of Metal Gear as a franchise for like a decade,
Man,
besides
dude,
the really embarrassing survival game.
That Snake does not have any Riz.
No, he doesn't scan.
That's What the fuck?
It just doesn't seem right.
Metal Gear Solid 3. I can't be wrong about this, right? Oh, like 3 Snake had some fucking riz. Okay, yeah. That's what I thought. Yeah, Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake looked
That's what I thought.
Okay.
Sea of Thieves. Fuck you. I don't need a specific season trailer.
Yeah, like
they're really putting
it was Sea of Thieves. It was Sea of Thieves season 13. Who cares? It's like watching an Overwatch Battle Pass trailer.
Which, by the way, it's not. They don't have an Overwatch trailer in this movie, in this video.
And how is it that you know all of this?
Because I am a god too.
Look how big those ears are.
You're one of them. Why would I do anything to help someone I've sworn to kill?
If it's vengeance you want.
It's a Delta. Correct, it's a Delta. Is the Metal Gear confirmed?
This song.
What is this? A Mage Bomber guy video? Oh, it's not that song. It's a different song. It's it's unique. It's a
weird trying. Oh, you turn into a fox. That's a little too long range. It looked stupid.
I'm glad that furries finally have a game to play.
We have a lot of games to play. This doesn't seem like that.
No.
Oh, it says Souls Light.
This is it.
I don't like Souls. Actually, I don't like the term Souls Light. Wait.
That's bad.
I don't like that.
It means you roll.
That's a really bad thing.
You roll.
Yeah, no, you can't. You couldn't even commit to Souls like.
Souls
you invented the term Souls Light.
I mean that happened. Wait, no, but that's a thing though, right? Isn't there like?
I don't know if I've ever heard Souls Light before. I think people
roguelite.
Yeah, roguelite. I know what roguelites are.
So roguelite is a thing. I think they're just piggybacking off of that. I'm assuming that they're making a Souls Light in the way
instead of a Souls like. But I'm like, that just tells me you're sanding off the interesting parts of a Souls game to making it
not a Souls like.
You're just making an action game.
Yeah,
possibly. It could mean that they're just sanding off the
full circle.
The soul aspect.
Sorry,
I just
caught up with the fact. I was trying to remember what Ashen was. Ashen was like a Souls-like type game that came out a few years ago, and people often call. Some people did call. I think even like Vati or someone called it a Souls-light at the time because it just wasn't that deep. I remember that game. It was okay.
Oh. I thought it was.
It was.
Ashen was okay. So Flintlock's probably
really cool.
Okay. But that reminded me, because you commented on the music, and I reminded me of the fact, like last week I complained about / just cackled at them using "Where Is My Mind," both the piano and orchestral slow covers to sell their stupid game, because that's what they always do. I went to see Furiosa this weekend, like yesterday, I think. Okay. Yeah, I think I saw it yesterday. The new Mad Max movie. It's really good. That's not what I'm going to talk about though. Before it happened, I had 2 franchise revival trailers. And I was losing my fucking mind because one of them was the trailer for Wicked, the new Wizard of Oz prequel about the Wicked Witch of the West going evil or whatever, and she's just like, she was actually nice all along, and she just doesn't care what people think. And I was just losing my fucking mind because like it shows you like, and this is how she got her hat and stuff like that all in the trailer, like all these annoying, obnoxious things. So they have to show you like every piece of iconography tied to a character has to be a thing that they lived with their entire life, and here's a specific backstory for how it happened, akin to like, here's how Chewie got his bandolier and how Han Solo got that specific pistol in Solo, like that kind of annoying shit.
That's really bad.
And so like it was a really insufferable trailer that went on for so long to the point it was practically the entire movie. And I was already like, well, that was awful. But at least they didn't do like a really slow, awkward cover of an old rock song or something, or like some kind of like obnoxious thing that they always do like that. Like how the Ghostbusters kids, the new kids reboot of Ghostbusters had like, that shit. Fucking. The next trailer was Beetlejuice, the sequel to Beetlejuice, and it opens with like, E-A-O, Yeah, a fucking slow cover of the Tally Me Banana song. I was like, what the fuck are you doing to me? Why is this a personal attack on me every time I watch trailers anywhere? Fucking, it's the fucking like, come Mr. Tally Man, tally me banana, daylight's coming and I wanna go home, which is like a memorable song from Beetlejuice. Well, it's not from Beetlejuice, that they used in Beetlejuice. And since that's the only way anyone knows how to make a trailer now, like, fucking, they did that. They did a slow cover of that song and used it for the trailer, because that's how they tell you that nostalgia is happening right now. So,
oh crap, that is such a...
it's so fucking annoying.
The nostalgia.
I will say calling the sequel to Beetlejuice, calling it Beetlejuice is... kind of inspired. That's a good title. I enjoy it. That's a funny title. That movie's gonna suck. That movie's gonna suck much.
Only if they make a third movie called Beetlejuice.
That ends the world.
Yes.
In real life.
Yes, that ends the world. Yes.
So at that moment, I had the actual thought, this is my Joker moment. I'm getting Joker-fied. The next trailer was Joker and Harley. So the next trailer was literally the next Joker movie. And I'm like, wait, no. I'm being called out in real time. That was my unique, insane experience that happened right before Furiosa, which itself was pretty good. My brain was melting. I don't care about age mythology, I'm going to be honest.
Is it a real movie? Who is in the Joker and Harley movie?
It's just the next Joker movie from the Joker people. Same Joaquin Phoenix, there he goes. It's Joaquin Phoenix and Lady Gaga.
Huh? What? Huh?
So
Wait,
Lady
what?
Gaga as Harley. Lady Gaga's been acting lately. I saw her in American Horror Story and stuff. Oh yeah, also she was in, I guess A Star Is Born. I didn't watch that, but I just remember she was in a Big Deal movie.
I was wrong.
She doesn't look like Harley Quinn.
Let's see, is this the same trailer or a different one? Oh, this is the same trailer. Oh, fuck this trailer then.
Yeah.
I've read more about this game, actually.
I don't care about Diablo 4. We already saw Fable. Fragpunk.
They're really going for a Dishonored kind of game.
I hope so. Otherwise, it'll be pointless.
Yeah.
World premiere.
We got to skip some stuff because they had Diablo 4 expansion and Battle Pass, so who cares?
Yeah.
Not Battle Pass,
Well, Diablo 4 expansion
Xbox
is pretty
Game
cool
Pass.
cinematic, though, for those interested.
Yeah, but we haven't played Diablo 4 yet, so...
It's just a cinematic.
Make your own rules.
Oh, it's a gacha game?
Ooh. Is it?
Or whatever. What is this? Or it's a card game?
No, it's an Overwatch. They're making an Overwatch.
It's another hero shooter.
Yeah.
Oh, is it another hero shooter?
Yeah.
No, I don't like that. No,
nice.
no.
Okay. Oh, with cards.
What did you expect?
So they're just stealing friends
mechanic
versus friends, but making a hero shooter out of it?
Okay, maybe if they're being wacky,
What?
maybe it's not
No, what
maybe
the
it's not that
fuck?
bad. I just saw the interface and I saw it as a microtransaction screen.
I think it was. Oh no,
it is
it
just
might have been
friends
the
versus
card
friends,
screen, which they
screen, yeah,
presumably won't make a pay to win card game, but I don't know.
Oh, they will. Oh,
who's making the game actually?
what is that game called?
I didn't see.
Premiere.
Oh, well,
I think
the
it's
answer
called
lies there.
Fragheart.
Premiere.
Fragheart.
Premiere.
Premiere.
It's so hard to click on a specific spot in the long ass video.
Use the arrow keys.
I don't know who made it. Oh, Rad Guitar, NetEase Games.
Yeah. NetEase gonna have paid cards. There you go.
Oh yeah, if it's NetEase, it's paid. Yeah, NetEase is
damn it.
That's it.
Yeah, it's paid for.
This might have been because otherwise it might have been a fun thing just to hang out with in a friends kind of way. I'm up for having some more wacky shooters to play with the bros.
The bros.
It also has weapon skins.
Of course.
And character skins.
Yeah, it's probably bad. Oh well. Womp,
I don't
womp.
really understand discoveries. Maybe
Premiere.
Oh yeah, that was the best part.
World premiere.
Noodle cake.
Also, I can't reach my keyboard from here.
Who's noodle cake?
For me in the city.
No.
So
Oh.
I have traveled back to where I grew up.
They're the makers of Rat Game.
Here I
I like rat games.
childhood home in ruins.
That doesn't look like ruins.
Yeah, it doesn't actually look like ruins, but
the bridge to her house
sounds like my mother.
I guess they forgot to sync up the visuals with the audio.
Okay, I like this.
Room. This looks like a tornado came around.
I'd play this game.
A cozy home again.
Oh no, I guess those were supposed to be ruins. Okay.
And no matter how hard.
I think the idea of a Don't Starve game, but with actual narrative purpose, is fun.
Yeah, agree.
Subnautica.
Yeah, but I like the style of
you want it to be a little
I really like this
top-down
visual.
looking 2D thing.
Yeah, I like this. I like this.
Not 2D,
visuals
but
a lot. I don't have a problem with Subnautica.
I decently enjoy survival games as long as
I didn't really like. I don't know why I didn't like Subnautica 2 though.
It's not good.
Work out for me. Okay. Well,
Subnautica 2 wasn't very
Winter
good.
Burrow. I'm gonna put that on the wish
Early
list.
2025.
Among other things,
Good.
Subnautica 2 is very horizontal in a game that was previously about going deeper vertically and having to get upgrades to go deeper and so on. Subnautica 2 just doesn't go very deep.
Yeah, that was good. I hope it.
My mixtapes bend others to my will. It's a strange, almost cosmic talent.
The fuck did you say to me? Well, the music stopped.
Well,
muted for copyright.
You're right. Thank you. Wait, did they copyright strike their own trailer?
Wait.
Yeah.
They can't show the music.
Wow.
They edited into the video that it's muted for copyright. They couldn't replace it with something else.
They
Holy
copied. They couldn't
shit.
even
This is
claim
so
it
funny.
as their own. That's how bad it is.
fucking
This is an official.
hilarious.
The trailer got taken down. And it wasn't taken down
Bro,
afterwards.
YouTube-
They knew it was going to get taken down. They literally added muted copyright in the editing with the
No,
lower
I
third.
think you're.
No,
you guys are forgetting. They're allowed to. Yes, they're allowed to upload a new version of a video.
Oh, maybe it was that. But like, I'm just thinking like they couldn't add anything to this part, even a little bit.
No, I guarantee you they have only a final.
Oh
mix.
wow, I'm never
And they
playing
were
this game. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
Why?
Because it's got Susie and the Banshees and Devo and Smashing Pumpkins and a bunch of other people I can't upload videos of. So same problem
yeah, but
for
so
me.
did what's it called? The
Most people
They
don't
may
have
have,
the most people don't have the care to do the Hi-Fi Rush thing and make a second soundtrack for the whole game just for streamers.
Maybe
There have
We'll
been
see.
noise complaints.
In these days,
Waka Waka.
There've been noise complaints. Are you?
What a funny joke after not
a completely
getting to hear
mute
the trailer.
Yeah, after a completely mute stream, that's just like that's
that's
actually the
okay.
funniest joke. If the game was made of jokes like that, I'd probably play it. Like,
To be clear, the stream got to hear it all, but we didn't.
the stream got to hear it.
I think the original stream, like whatever
yeah, the original
presentation was
people,
at,
the original stream had it.
whoever saw this presentation or whatever, I don't know.
The music doesn't change anything to me.
What's wild is that
Azure
they couldn't
AI.
just-
Azure AI.
the
Yeah, what do you mean
copyright strike?
Azure AI? What
It
was
generated
generated with
it's an
AI?
AI generated game.
Oh my
This
god,
looks
that'd be
like
funny as hell.
Flight Simulator. Yeah.
Oh, the ground. Oh, okay. They're talking about the world. The world is AI generated.
Yeah, they just-
not
they
this
just
part.
have-
This is obviously a cutscene, but when you're looking at the map and you're playing in game, they do Google did this too. Google has like a 3D version of the world that they artificially make based on a bunch of pictures that are taken by people. That's what's happening here. I was trying to think of like, what do they mean by Azure AI? Azure AI doesn't do fucking anything, but yeah, they do it for the environment maps.
Why am I watching the Flight Simulator trailer?
You don't like airplanes?
I know what it'll look like. It always looks like the same trailer.
It looks really good, actually.
So like,
yeah.
wow,
No,
look how,
Flight Simulator,
look how
like the
shockingly
new Flight Simulator is
impressive
fucking
looking.
cool.
Yeah, no, it's every Flight Simulator trailer. It's always like, wow,
True,
look,
yeah,
a
it's
shockingly
just
realistic. It basically looks like filmed life, and then a plane flying through it, and we've seen that every year.
Well, it's time for 2024.
It's like how racing games always look like the most impressive games every year because it's just easier to make cars look really realistic than it is to make any person look good. So when you see a bunch of cars racing in a course, you're like, is this just real life? Whoa.
Yeah. And yes, Colonel, it is a lot easier
Elder
to make cards
Scrolls,
look
who
real than
cares?
people.
And we saw Life is Strange.
People are... Oh,
sorry,
machine
audience
games?
that really wants to see us react to trailers for
Lucasfilm games?
MMO expansions, but I imagine you don't care.
Wait, I thought Lucasfilm games got deleted.
I can't let this
I thought
go.
Disney
got
shut
bought.
that shit down.
Every brand name always lives on forever, like Atari.
Oh.
Or
well, they got Harrison Ford back.
Had a deep connection to something
I'll probably play this game.
Boss believes they hold a kind of power. A discovery that could change the world.
Honestly, this is probably what Harrison Ford should be doing.
Fresh air!
Oh.
We have to find the stones, Gina. Or they will. If you were to draw a line through these ancient sites around the globe, you'd get a
There's zero gameplay. So what?
The Great Circle.
Well, give it a second. Chill.
It's probably Uncharted.
No, it's not. It's first person, by the way. God damn, guys.
All of his men.
Andrew being
wow, he looked like he was really walking.
Let's get a closer look.
There's a cutscene. There we go.
Gotta find the stone and get off this ship.
What's that in his hands? What does it say?
Earth something. What was that?
We'd better hide. Ciao.
It's like watching a movie.
Hands behind your head.
I hope this John Williams score doesn't get us taken down for copyright.
Where's the stone, you American rat?
What stone?
Have you ever heard of Höhenangst?
Fear of heights?
Yes! And I have it. I endured this dreadful mountain even if my mind was screaming every step of the way. Because of a concept you narrow-minded Americans will never understand!
I thought Nazis didn't know fear. You're admitting to having a phobia? That seems pretty un-Nazi-like.
Total and absolute devotion to the fatherland.
I don't think he said he was afraid.
That sounds... He said...
I think he did. I think that
yeah,
was
he said...
Yeah.
He said he has that phobia.
Choo-choo! Choo-choo! Ha 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 ha.
Okay, this is more like a Nazi.
Celebrating your own idiocy and drinking.
Yeah, I like the sort of over the top mark.
Yeah, this is what Nazis are like.
He does have the Nazi haircut.
No.
He does.
Well, he should. He is a Nazi.
But specifically the neo-Nazi haircut.
Cops to make sure.
Please wait.
Give me the stone.
Gina, give me some stone. The subtitles are not quite up to the task.
They're getting there. They're trying.
Oh my god.
Is he okay? What?
Yeah.
We gotta get out of here.
No shit, Indy.
That thing could hold up an entire fucking boat, but one grenade not hitting it directly took the whole thing out.
Gina! Haltet sie auf!
Are we just watching a Let's Play?
I guess so. Well, we're watching a cutscene, really. This is like the intro of the game, I'm assuming.
Yeah. What?
I'll be honest with you, I think what makes me...
They had like a little moment there.
The fact that they dodged it, yeah, they were proud of themselves for dodging it. Very man behavior. I love it. Look at this. Hell yeah.
still haven't seen
Well,
these
if
movies.
this is made by id, if it's
And you get a whip. Like,
yeah, I'm shocked you get a whip.
and a banjo.
Wow.
Honestly,
I still need to watch these
I-
movies at some point.
I've never.
I think the
I've
fact.
never.
What? Have neither of you seen Indiana Jones movies?
Well, it's not. a surprise for me,
I've only
right?
seen Crystal Skull.
What? That's it?
Yeah.
Wow, what a fucking. That's unfortunate. That sucks. I'm so sorry for you.
I didn't
Wow,
know
you.
Crystal
I can
Skull was
understand.
Getting caught up on franchises like separately from everyone just feels like homework. And no one's ever like, we're gonna watch Indiana
I'm not
Jones. It's always like, go
I'm
watch
not telling you
Indiana.
have to watch it.
It's always like, you haven't seen movie yet, and I'm like, cool. When are we watching it? I'm like, never.
I'm just shocked.
Cool.
I thought Indiana Jones was a pretty.
No,
was more common at least.
I grew up with
Let's
Star
be
Wars, but I did
honest.
not grow up with Indiana Jones.
Yeah,
Let's
Star
be
Wars
honest,
seems
wait-
because it's like more sci-fi and nerdy. I figure it's not going to pull in the dads as much as Indiana Jones would, which feels a lot more macho because it is like very manly to go around and just like beat the shit out of Nazis and whatever. So Star Wars is a lot more like political, right? It's a lot more about a story and things going on. But Indiana Jones is like, hey, bud, I'm going to get that crystal skull for a museum and you're not going to take it. And they're like, well, fight me. He's like, I got a whip. Let's do it. Like Indiana Jones is very, very fun compared to Star Wars. But
in regards to enjoying
like it a lot.
catching up
Fun.
to series, let's be honest, modern day media is made for people who are not paying attention. You're probably going to enjoy it actually more if you don't know what came before, because you're not going to be, oh no, that's a retcon.
I also don't think
that's a movie.
I don't think there's such a thing as like required media. I don't think it's like everyone has to watch Indiana Jones. It's a very much, I put it in the realm of, just it's just fun. It's just a goofy action movie. I like it, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's not. I don't know. It's not art. It's not like the thing
Somebody
you would
was
say
like,
like,
there's an Indiana Jones like rewind thing happening. We watch one movie each week at the theater, and let's go. Then I'd go. But no, I've not been invited to watch Indiana Jones at any specific time in my life, so I've never seen them.
If someone wants you to watch Indiana Jones, I'd recommend taking them up on the offer. But I don't think it's something you need to watch on your own at all. Like you are fine without it. But I'm also excited for this game because it looks like a 360 game, and that's what really makes me want to play it. Because I know for a fact if a game looks like that, more effort was put into the gameplay than it was for the shitty fucking graphics I'm not going to look at. So I'm stoked. I'm excited.
That's a good point. I like that take.
And you think I'm being a joke, but like seriously,
no, I'm agreeing with you. I'm agreeing with you.
It is like it's like AI art now. When you see it, you go, "Ew, gross." The quality must be shit. Like that's what realistic graphics for me. That's what it does. When I see hyper realistic graphics, I think, oh, gross. It's not going to run on my PC except for like 2 frames a second because there's some update that I need to wait a week for because they didn't have time to make a game work because it looks like a fucking movie. Where this shit, look at this. Look how that looks like. That is 360 maybe.
It does look.
I'll be generous and I'll say it's like the end of the PS3's life cycle. Looking.
I was gonna say you're kind of forgetting how ugly Xbox 360 games were. Like go back and look at Condemned. And it looks worse than you think it does. In part because everyone looks kind of shiny and metallic and plasticky and upsetting. It was a generation.
I'm looking at Condemned right now.
It was a remarkably ugly generation. Like, I think of it like you eventually had stuff like The Last of Us and everything, but like it isn't. But like some of the stuff that I thought looked great at the time is real rough to look back at now, and not in this way. It's actually really funny because I've been playing every Silent Hill game once a year. And I got caught up on I reached Homecoming and I was like, huh. And it's like, I can't, and I'm literally coming from PS1 and PS2 games, but like the last game I played before Homecoming was a port of a PSP game, Silent Hill 5 Origins. Silent Hill Origins was a PSP game. And coming from there, Homecoming was uniquely ugly because it was the 360 PS3 opening game, and that was a uniquely ugly era of video games. Was the early 360 era. Like it was just like, oh, everything's ugly, everything's bad. Condemned 1.
Yeah, no, not early. I think
Condemned
she's definitely...
1 or Chronicles of Riddick, like all these games that once upon a time were like famously like dark and broody and atmospheric games. Look at them now and they're like they're like weirdly shiny and metallic and like wet and gross, and like there's something really off-putting about what they look like now. It's very strange.
I'm thinking of like I probably thinking more.
And it's rough because a lot of those games came out the same year as like the most beautiful PS2 games ever made, because it was the end of that generation. We don't have that struggle anymore. Like when PS4 comes out and PS5 comes out, they don't open with like uniquely fucky games. they don't have like baby deer leg struggling to stand up like problems at the beginning of generations anymore. It was specifically the 360 PS3 era where they're like really having a trouble. Let's see.
Maybe Alan Wake.
We saw Mecha Break last time.
Maybe that's the graphics then.
Sekiro 2.
I don't remember if this was the one we saw last time.
You're a monster. Until someone comes to slay you.
Okay, well, I feel like that was on him.
First signs are really subtle.
He was sitting on top of an entire pile of corpses, just waiting to see how they became corpses.
It becomes clear. The gift changes you, slowly consuming every little part of your humanity.
Ah!
Dynasty Warriors 12.
Bless you, you've never seen a single Dynasty Warriors game and don't know what any of them look like.
Definitely not like this.
Also, Dynasty Warriors is Chinese.
Colonel's onto something. This does look kind of Dynasty Warriors.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, a lot more Dynasty Warriors.
Right? The art style is kind of, I mean, I don't know if it's Chinese, but there's definitely an Eastern Asia kind of vibe.
Well, the Dynasty Warriors games are Japanese. I'm saying Dynasty Warriors takes place in China.
Yeah. I know, yeah.
It's Samurai Warriors is the Japanese series.
I should know. It runs in my blood.
And I was like, she has like samurai armor on her shoulder or whatever. I mean, this was Chinese. I don't know.
Yeah.
She's in the dark. I thought she was wearing samurai armor at first.
Could be cool.
I think it's
that way.
Fine,
the people always draw like a single shoulder Bushido character thing.
Honestly, I'm about to start an internet hate campaign because she's too attractive. I think that she needs to be ugly. I think we can't be making.
Stop with the horny. Bonk.
To the living.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
that wild frontier
vow.
Suffers from the dream scourge.
Wow, a lot of people hit me in the face.
Terrible plague, and put an end to it.
He is wrong. The dream scourge is but a symptom of a deeper,
the dream scourge.
Rot. Go, tame the chaos that plagues the living lands, so that those who remain standing can shape it.
Too many cuts. I can't center myself.
No, you're not supposed to.
They're cutting just between such different settings that I'm like, what is this game like?
Trailers are meant to be paused and enjoyed.
Oh, Baldur's Gate DLC. Okay.
No,
it's the new Obsidian game.
Is it just a dungeon crawler?
Yeah, it looks like basically medieval Outer World.
What is it called? Outer Worlds.
Yeah.
So sort of a dungeon crawl.
Yeah, it's not open world. I believe. Maybe wrong.
I thought that I didn't see the A at first because it's different.
I like that art. That looks pretty cool. All right, Avowed says RPG.
You haven't heard of Avowed before?
No, we saw it last year.
Yeah.
World premiere.
I don't remember it.
It's a very disorienting trailer because it would cut to like between like dungeon crawling and like a random like trader in town in the broad daylight, then back to like a war. I'm like, escalate, pick themes, have this part of the video be about this part be about that part. Don't just merge them all. Okay, war. I was like, my first reaction was everybody's gone to the Rapture. The town reminds me of that at first. What? Okay. Are we doing some of that post-Bioshock, like, quirkiness of, like, confused setting? You know what I mean, right? Where it's like there's like a there's like a quirky theme placed over the whole thing, like we happy few and stuff like that. Like, is this historical? Hang on a minute, this doesn't make sense. I'm kind of curious.
Yeah,
the phone works. Plot twist. That actually is kind of clever to have it all like reclaimed by nature and look fucked up and ruined, but then it starts ringing, so you know it actually still works like, despite everything.
Action adventure by Rebellion.
That is genuinely a beat to put in your.
Oh my god! Another
Xbox,
one?
get your shit together.
Who did this?
Did you not get? You didn't get a.
What is this?
They didn't have approval for this
Creed
music
Shadows.
before they.
Yeah, who cares?
Everyone.
It's Assassin's Creed, but samurai.
Our enemy.
Okay.
They talk of peace and dream of war.
We're really heavy on this theme this year on games, aren't we?
What?
There's like there's an overlapping vibe between a lot of games.
Our people deserve to be freed of the oppressor's grasp.
Vengeance is a lonely path now, Believe me, there are other ways to heal.
Reminds me when they announced Ghost of Tsushima, but there was also a second samurai game that was like grittier looking, and whenever I tried to ask what it was even called, they never would remember, because they would only remember Ghost of Tsushima.
Much we will learn from each other, Yasuke.
You can see when two people fit, when they will be better together.
There is no honor in praying.
Wait, I'm thinking about the development cycle of games. Was it that cynical? Did they see Ghost of Tsushima be a more successful Assassin's Creed and think our next game will be in that setting? And then here we are, like 3 or 4 years later, for how long games take to come out, and now their take on Ghost of Tsushima is happening. And it's just Assassin's Creed Shadows.
Wasn't Ghost of Tsushima 2022?
I don't think so.
Because if it was, then that would. Oh, this is Stalker 2, by the way. But yeah, 2 years is an awfully short time.
I don't think I was out yet, so I think it's longer back.
This is Stalker 2, let's go.
Валимо звідси.
It's starring Castlevania Richter?
Oh. His name means Dracula backwards.
What?
No, it does not.
Come on, you. It does?
Моя любов, ти рідна матінко моя, жива.
What annoys me is that Richter spelled backwards almost still sounds like Richter. It's like Rithker.
That's funny.
Because his name's almost symmetrical. Was that a giant eye?
Yeah, could be.
I need to play Stalker. I just want to get into that. It sounds like it's wild. It sounds like I should only play the first one though.
Oh no, they're all great for different reasons, but they're all great.
Isn't one of them like have a bad case of prequel-itis?
You don't play them for the plot, really.
Oh, okay. Apparently I have Shadow Chernobyl in my library.
I think I have all of them, yeah.
The first one.
I feel like they were like in a $5 bundle 10 years ago. Like that's how far removed we are from them costing anything.
They came out the first one was 2008, I think.
I don't know, on Steam there's still one of them still expensive.
This is a very intense fight for it to be in the open world. That's interesting.
Зараз час такий.
That was gross.
Можливостей.
How is he so confident he can knock the mirror off that car?
Це смерті. Який в них сенс?
That was a cool gross out kill, but also like he was so confident he could dismantle that card with one slap. He had to take a hand off the knife fight to do that. That seemed really risky. Oh, there's where his eye went through it. So that's a cutscene fight.
Іди своїм шляхом, і тоді ти зможеш побачити зону.
Those realistic eucalyptus.
Eucalyptus trees. Heart of Chernobyl. You don't want to be there. That's the worst place.
Well, yeah, that's a zone. That's where Stalker takes place, in the exclusion zone around Chernobyl.
Honored to partner with.
But Heart is like specifically the worst part of it. Don't go there.
You go to the actual nuclear power plant number 4 in the first game, and
don't do that.
The second, it's
Pro
full
tip,
of radiation.
don't do
but
that.
The monsters are worse though.
Yeah,
he seems to be lying.
More reason not to go there. Why are you going to the one? There's like there's giant signs everywhere warning you not to go there. So stop.
There's a normal.
Have you considered not going into the exclusion zone?
It's a lovely setting.
Average white guy gets excluded from a place, has to go right in. I see how it is.
Oh, speaking of which, neither of the 3 games has any women in them. It's only men.
Okay.
Which is, average white guy. That's why I reminded.
Is that
on
purpose? Like they?
No, I think it probably is on purpose. But
no woman
let's
would
not
be
get
dumb
into
enough to go into Chernobyl.
No, they just forgot that women exist.
Oops.
Oh yeah.
It's a Kingdom Come
Common
Deliverance kind of thing potentially. I don't know.
kind of forgot about other people existing.
Yeah, 50%.
I skipped over the Xbox Series X thing or whatever it was. Because who cares?
Yeah.
Wow.
Xbox Series X, XX Series bonus, second edition, Slim X.
Xbox Series, the last console of this brand.
There was a paper saying the war is over. It probably isn't.
Oh.
Me and who?
Gears.
I sat through a Noah Caldwell Gervais video about this franchise that made me want to go through and play them with friends, but then I'm like, fuck, none of them are on PC, or not enough of them for continuity to play through.
Well, the first 2 are on PC.
It made me want to go and play the whole series on PC the way we did with Halo. This should be a fun co-op through.
Oh no, they're gonna kill our man.
He's got a big television. Don't worry about it.
Well, that's young Marcus, huh?
Yeah, it's a prequel, I think.
No.
Yeah. Because didn't the 3rd game...
This music sucks. No! No! Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you!
What did you think it was gonna be? Why
damn it! God damn it!
How did you not see that coming, Keith?
God!
Yeah, come on.
Fucking damn it! I was literally like, this is nearly as good as the Mad World trailer. And then I heard I heard that fucking dun dun dun. I'm like, fuck you. It's the notes of Mad World played even. How are you gonna do a slower orchestral cover of Mad World? The fucking
they ran into a pickle there.
The song that's the reason we have all these sad, slow trailers for like Dead Island and everything is Mad World. It's like maybe the most influential video game trailer of all time. Like it's like absurdly influential for future trailers and everything. And it was really good. Mad World was a good trailer, and motherfucker, you're doing Mad World. I'm so mad right now because the music was so fucking boring and flat. It was just it sounded like white noise, and then
it did. Yes.
God fucking damn it! I hate trailers. That's me. That's my head. I didn't expect to set up iron. I'm sorry. Was that? No.
Did you pre-watch this, Keith? Is that what's going on?
I did not pre-watch that. But it's funny that I accidentally foreshadowed this trailer. Just in that one shot, I thought that this was that one actor. Let's see. Wrong shot. Yeah, I saw him here, and I thought it was the guy from God, what's his name? From Spider-Man, and he's like Night Stalker. Nightcrawler in the movie about chasing ambulances and stuff.
I definitely don't know.
Johnny Darko. Big eyebrows.
I'll take your word for it. I don't know. I'm not a movie star person.
You don't know what Donnie Darko is?
I know what Donnie Darko is.
The guy from that. The lead.
I don't remember.
I think he was in Jarhead.
Like Jake Gyllenhaal.
Jake Gyllenhaal. I thought it was Jake Gyllenhaal for a second. I was like, what's happening here? Why is he in this? But I think it's supposed to be young Marcus. Does that even make sense? Wait, can it be young Marcus?
No, it's his son.
The prequel.
That's not Marcus.
Marcus's son is blonde.
Oh, that's not Marcus. That's not what.
And
Marcus
I also think that I think he's dead too.
God.
Open square brackets music.
The way they figured out how to make it slow by
that
just
looks a lot like
for half the time.
Yeah, it's Marcus, and that's his friend. That does not look like him. His friend looks even less like him.
Oh, Coltrane?
No, his friend, not Baird's friend.
Oh,
I don't remember his name. E-Day. Yeah, it's the day that the locusts happened. I thought Marcus was already in prison when E-Day happened.
No, he abandoned his duty or whatever during.
I guess this game's about why he's in prison.
Yeah, basically the game leads up.
Carlos
to
was his name. Carlos
going to prison.
I don't remember any.
What was player 2's name? He died in like 3 or something.
I think it is Carlos.
I don't know. That didn't look like him at all, did it?
No, that's not Carlos.
You don't think so?
That was supposed to...
We didn't think that was Marcus. Then he put the bandana on and we're like, oh, it's Marcus.
I thought it was Marcus when I first saw him.
So they're going back to do a prequel of Gears of War. I don't know what you can do with a prequel at that point.
Sell games.
You're mostly
the first game took place so early on in the process that I feel like it's hard to go back. But
it literally took place during what amounts to a second, like a second invasion or whatever. Because I think E-Day happens, it's dealt with, and then there's like a military post that.
Well, yeah, they don't immediately get wiped out or anything.
Yeah.
Or specifically in E-Day E-Day happens and I think most of the world gets wiped out. Because I think
it's like 98% or something like that.
Because I think specifically the cog is on top of like a hard like mesa or something. Like it's on like a firmament that they can't burrow through really. So it was like the one place that was like safe from E-Day. Because they wiped out like everyone everywhere practically by just coming out from under the earth. So I think the place where the cog is in Gears of War 1, I think they're in a place that was uniquely protected against the apocalypse essentially, and started defending the one last piece of humanity.
That's the train level, isn't it?
The train level?
In Gears of War 1?
No, the cog is the military that you serve under in the first game. Dominic.
I see.
It was Dom. Yeah. I'm like, it's not Carlos.
Yeah. Okay, so the point here is that it's supposed to be, it's pre him going to save his dad. Because that was why he went to jail originally. Is he went to jail because he fucked off from a major battle to go save his dad.
I feel like I need to look up what Dom looked like.
He looks so sad.
He looks so sad.
Don't be sad.
Of War
It's just the world ending. It's all right.
His cheekbones were like much higher, or is something about his eyes don't look right. Like normally he doesn't have that much gap between his eyebrow and his cheekbones. That's the problem. That's why Dom looks funny and weird.
See.
Because here we can.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's not massively off. It looks like. I guess the lighting's just really gaunt.
That's what he should normally look like.
He looked like a bullet in the first game.
Yeah. Yeah, he does look like a bullet. That's funny.
Yeah. Those had originally a different vibe. Just haven't seen him forever. Yeah, they gave him like huge, gaunt cheeks and eye sockets and stuff, so it changed his profile. So the main thing that stood out to me when I saw him in motion at the first glimpse was that it looked like he had like the those like jowl lines going down the front of his face around each side of his mouth was like the first thing I caught in the highlights of the light, and I was like, I don't recognize this character. Who is this person?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Gaunt had a bad life. I heard a thing about how like they kept having to re-edit the scene about his wife because people kept laughing at it.
What?
They kept changing the scene that reveals what happened to his wife over and over again for like Gears of War 2, I think, because in like when they would test the scene, people kept laughing. Like they were really struggling to get the emotion to land the way they wanted to.
Jesus.
Which is rough because that's like the entire premise. That's like the core, like the emotional core of the game to some extent.
Yeah, how bad were they? I kind of want to watch the funny.
I kind of missed out on.
You want to laugh?
I kind of missed out on the franchise because I played Gears of War 2 with a friend that didn't like it, and the experience was overall just sort of negative, and so I just never played the rest of the series. It's funny because I played Gears of War 1's campaign like probably like 10 times, and I played Gears of War 2 like twice with like once with a friend, and I don't think we even beat it, and we just kind of got out of it, didn't want to play anymore. But I think that just happened periodically with that person. Like I think we like noped out of Hellboy 2 for being bad, and I think people liked Hellboy 2. So I was like, maybe I need to go back and watch Hellboy 2 and play Gears of War again with a better co-op partner. So I was definitely gearing up like, oh, maybe I can do the thing again where I play through the series with Bird, and then we get to the 4-player games and play those with Colonel and Andrew or something. And then I'm like, oh, this franchise is not singularly on one platform in a way that we can easily get to because we don't all have the Xbox consoles. And also trying to co-op the Xbox consoles while recording Discord is a nightmare. It's just so much easier whenever game's on PC for my personal use. Please have a game be on PC.
I think
that's where my Discord
Gears
is.
Of War, right?
I think that the Gears of War Definitive Edition or remake or whatever came out on PC. But it's not like the Gears of War Marcus Phoenix collection like we have with Halo, where we have everything but 5. I'm annoyed by that too. If Halo 5 just isn't on PC when every single other one is, and I'm like, fuck. Let me play Halo 5 so I can then move on to play Halo Infinite.
Wait, all Halos are on PC?
Yeah, because Master Chief Collection came out on PC. That's what led to us doing the entire Halo franchise playthrough.
Yeah. What's it called?
Give us Gears. Admit that Xbox is dead and give us all these PC games.
I have to say though, Gears is one of those games that is so much more fun to play in person with someone else. That is, I think, the only reason I managed to get through any of them. I know, but it sucks because it's a game that genuinely is fun to play together. Where you're both like yelling and screaming.
Like we play stuff in person so little that we missed the last Sonic game.
Yeah. Wow.
Granted, it was open world, so I was afraid it would just be really tedious.
Did it sell well?
Move back. Why are you over?
I don't know. I didn't check.
That place. That place has nothing. Just
for me, it's just like open
back.
Sonic games are just so chaotic and very entertaining to play for a series because even when they're not that bad, like Sonic Mania wasn't the worst, but just chaos happened because it's funny. The worst thing you can do to Sonic is make it have horrible pacing by making an open world game. So when I hear about a Sonic game being like 20 hours long or something and you run around in a field between levels and stuff, I'm like, oh, well, that's going to drag.
Sonic Dream Team, is that the one you're referring to?
I don't know what that is. Sonic Frontiers was the open world game.
Oh.
We laughed about it in previous trailers because he'd be running around the landscape and there would just be like awkwardly like a bunch of like floating rails on the horizon, like just random Sonic level chunks were just like in the environment everywhere. And admittedly, the entire environment of that game just looked like an unfinished asset. Like it just looked like a placeholder field / forest. And when I saw the finished game, it still kind of looked like that. Like this gap between environments.
According to Wikipedia,
it's a dangerous world to be a Sonic hater now, though.
According to Wikipedia, with no citation, it was a commercial success and sold 3.5 million copies by May 2023.
I imagine that they're all commercial successes. Otherwise, they would keep making so many.
Yeah, if they don't pay their team, it's always very commercially success.
Well, I think they're also just like, I think there's just a dedicated fan base for those games, and they're also, I think, made pretty cheaply. Like, they look incredibly cheap, and like their own audience is so conditioned to think that they're to be cool with that they're like, it was so wild watching like the Sonic Generations and Shadow or whatever it's called. I don't think it's called that. I gave it the Knuckles naming scheme, I guess. The Shadow version of Sonic Generations that's coming out. People were like posting gifs of like Shadow landing and doing a little roll when he lands, and like, oh my god, look at the amazing! It's incredible. I'm like, guys, that was like the bare minimum for video games to do 15 years ago. The idea that he would have a landing animation instead of just start instantly running the moment he landed, like that's the basics of any game. What are you talking about? Why are you so excited about that? So Sonic fans are just they're wild. They're doing their own thing. They're on their own planet. They have a completely different set of standards compared to the rest of gaming. And you know what? Whatever. It actually, like, they remind me of the mascot horror audience that we have interacted with in a recent podcast. And it's just there's like a toxic positivity where it's just shut up and praise it. Just shut up and praise it. No one's allowed to not praise it. To the point where, like, just this like last week, Aaron Hansen was trending again on Twitter for having not done anything new. It's just people just periodically make him trend on Twitter because they remember him for hating Sonic at some point years ago. And like,
wow,
like the example was like, part of why he was trending is people used a clip of him trashing Sonic for a few seconds, like in the middle of his like Zelda video, which itself came out in like 2013, 11 years ago, I think. Like his Ocarina of Time video, which people are also always mad about for other reasons, but like they're just going after him for having a moment like, unlike Sonic the Hedgehog over here. And like, why do you guys have an infinite memory for anyone who's ever not liked a video game you like? What is this behavior? It's so weird. It's so strange to act this way. As if there's nothing self-evident to not like about Sonic. Because what they do is they blame Aaron for literally an entire decade of Sonic haters. Like they say that he's the reason why, and then they frame it like they're being harassed for liking Sonic because of people like this. And I'm like, no, you're not. You're just encountering videos where some people don't like Sonic sometimes. It's fine. Move on. It's so weird.
Clearly it's not fine.
It's so weird to attach your identity to an IP so strong that you see criticism as harassment.
Are you seriously going to say that? Like, they're...
You can't even make a joke. You can't even come up with one. It's too stupid.
No, the problem is I can't think. Actually, here's the thing. The problem I'm having right now to make a joke is that it's too many options. What am I going to pick? Star Wars? Am I going to pick fucking Marvel movies? Am I going to pick? There's just too many possible options here. Disney.
Speaking of Star Wars, I saw the Witch episode and I thought it was fine. It was neat.
What is that? I don't even know what that means.
It's just the new thing people are mad about. It's more. Cool. There's always more. Right.
Yeah, I mean, there's always more. There's always something else to be mad about. I'm gonna be mad about this Gears of War because honestly, I don't think they made Marcus hot enough. So they need to hire fans, get his cheekbones a little bit higher, get his his.
A very strange thing is that, like, in the new Star Wars Acolyte thing, the viral thing people are going after is that there was fire in space in an episode. Star Wars is full of fire in space, like as a series.
And sound,
guys. There can't be explosions in space.
There can be explosions in space.
But not fireballs.
No, not fire.
Well, actually, not fireballs technically, but
there's a lot of continuous fire in space. A lot of just burning vehicles and burning exploding turrets and so on.
The original movie. You can't do that. It doesn't space. That not workspace. How? Cannot. No do. No. No would not.
It's physics.
No,
but I'm
looking
not.
You can't.
Sonic
Frontiers.
And the game, it's so unbelievable how they do not engage with any of the other trends of platformers in the industry. It's just they're doing their own thing. They have the Sonic go around in circles, literally around enemies as a gameplay mechanic. You draw a circle around a character to engage, or around a button to activate the button. And there was another thing, I forget which one it was, but it was just as inane and just as weird. Because like there's platformers that are good out there. Why don't they like do a platformer? But no, they're doing Sonic games, which is this thing.
I mean, most Sonic games' primary way of combat is still the jump in the air and then press jump again and hope it attacks who you mean to and when you mean to, and it doesn't do something wild and insane like shoot you into space.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's the other thing I saw. Health bars. Apparently, enemies have health bars now. Which is just... I like, what the hell are they doing?
It's always just funny to me whenever there's a some kind of viral like criticism of a Star Wars thing in terms of like, that's not how physics works in space, because that's the entire series has intentionally defied how space works continuously. Like it's... Did you forget?
Yeah.
Like, did you forget The Last Jedi having like ships that have bombs that they drop in space because the point is not to make sense physically, but to evoke like bombers from World War II, because it's genre fiction. It's specifically evoking something for artistic reasons and not just to make sense in space or whatever. Like that's not Star Trek that fetishizes that stuff. But also like in the first or second Star Wars movie, they land on a tiny asteroid thing, and then they just get out, and they have like a run-in with like a weird thing that jumps on your face or whatever, like like the fucking like tiny pterodactyls from Lethal Company, like the lampreys or whatever, and then oh no, this cave's alive, and like a monster comes out and attacks, like the big tentacle thing, mouth worm thing comes, like all that whole sequence. They got on a tiny asteroid and just walked around. That thing wouldn't have air on it. It doesn't have enough gravity to have an atmosphere. Like, Star Wars never makes sense on that level. It's a weird standard to apply, and it's always applied selectively to things that people hate for other reasons, but they don't want to say that. They don't want to be like, oh, I hate that there's black people in this. So like, oh, the physics is wrong in this one. What a joke. Get it together, people. It's just very strange. Very strange.
It truly
behavior.
is DEI physics.
That's what I mean. That's the thing, is that there's always the part of the group that says the quiet part out loud, and they just will highlight like everyone in this screenshot is female and this protagonist is black. It's all DEI, and then everyone else is really embarrassed standing next to that person, because some of them had the tact to not admit they were racist, and some of them were the people that were being successfully duped into the outrage campaign by the racists. And you're supposed, the whole reason why you're able to get those people to come along is by not calling attention to the exact thing. That's how so many people to this day are hilariously duped into thinking that Gamergate wasn't just a harassment campaign, because like it's about ethics in games journalism, and then they can't point to like what the ethics were that needed to be addressed, and any example they do point to was a thing that was literally never true, like from day one. And it was provably not true from day one, and no one cared enough to look, because that's how little they cared, because they were just swept up in an outrage thing, and they never had principles.
I think the funniest
Gamergate provably never had principles, like not even like like even for a third wave random like people that were clueless and weren't literally just racist doing the whole thing on purpose. The people that were duped into it never bothered to just look for 2 seconds at the thing that they were supposed to be mad about to even tell if it was doing the thing that they were told it was doing, because it wasn't. Like there was no, I think there never was a this person slept with somebody for a review thing. Like that never happened.
I remember that.
It very obviously never happened. Like the person that, like to the point of just the person that supposedly was slept with never wrote a review about that game. It's just really basic shit like that. Like hilariously obvious shit like that.
Yeah. That was, that's actually funny too, because I believe the person who made that game was Brianna Wu, right?
Yeah.
I believe so.
No.
Or
yes.
The reviewer.
Or was it
the reviewer?
Brianna Wu was in that wave. She was one of the targets to thread allow that, and she has lost her fucking mind recently. Holy shit.
Was it Zoe Quinn?
Yeah, Zoe Quinn was the person that made the game that was a bad. I think that was over Depression Quest. Like, I think I think people were mad about a Twine game, which is insane.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm still mad that Gamergate spoiled Her Story for me because they were mad at it so much that they would always spoil it. And I'm like, cool.
Her Story?
I never got around to playing it.
That game.
Oh, not Her Story. Fuck. Her Story is the game about VHS tapes.
Gone Home?
Gone Home.
Oh, I got to play it without being spoiled. I thought it was fun. It was a cute little game. It's not very long.
I just rub it on in.
No. Anyway, we're off topic, and it's also time for Colonel to go to bed.
Also that.
Fake go to bed. It's time for him to go play Baldur's Gate, probably, or D&D.
Let's go.
I guess that is also D&D.
Yeah.
See you guys next week. Hope you hated all of our opinions again. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
This is our weekly yelling stream.
Don't buy video games.
Especially not Sonic games.
Was that the moral? Is that the moral?
I don't know about that.
That was the moral. That was the moral, yeah.
I don't know.
I don't think I have reason to think Sonic games are evil or anything. I just don't like them. And their fans are weird about people not liking them. Like they're so weird about it. Anyway, bye.
Bye.